fucking die, aren't I?
Cars. I don't know what it is about cars, but they're a treat when they're in video games. It's a blast. I've noticed a pattern over my years of making videos. I am enamored with games where you go somewhere in a car. And I'm not talking about games like Euro Truck Simulator or even GTA 5, where the car is merely a tool to be exploited. No, I love it when the car is the main hub of transportation and your life basically revolves around it. Think Death Road to Canada. Think The Long Drive. Think Road 96. And for the topic of this video, think Pacific Drive. Whoa! Can't see shit in this part of the country. Whoa! Oh, fuck. Oh my Christ, no. Now, you might have heard of Pacific Drive already. It first appeared as a blip on my radar all the way back when IGN first released the trailer for it. The mix of driving style gameplay along with resource gathering, all while taking place within an 80s-esque forest sci-fi stalker-ish setting, could be a smashing time. And yeah, it's basically like Stalker, except your character has no guns and no way to defend themselves against the horrors of the zone, and the only form of transportation you have is a four-wheeler to keep all your bones where they're supposed to be and help you get from A to B.
This is beautiful.
But you might be asking, which A's to which B's? Well, this is where the story comes in, and let me tell you, this game has one of the strongest voice acting chops I've ever seen out of a video game. This is Disco Elysium level voice acting in the story.
You chose your urban legends over everything else.
And you wonder if I regret it?
Oh, I have no interest in regret. I want to know if you ever felt that leaving was a real option.
After everything I've seen and heard and felt here?
No, not a chance.
Then we have that in common.
What the fuck? You guys are insane if you think that living here is an option. What the fuck is going on? Imagine Atlas carrying the Earth. That's essentially what the voice acting is doing for the game's story. And make no mistake, this is a story-based game. Progression is essentially parallel to the campaign missions, and you unlock new resources around the same time you would need them in lore. The other strong part of the game is its second-by-second gameplay. Everything from putting your car in park to looking at the map is done by literally looking at the thing that's bolted onto the car. It really feels like the first time on the road after getting your driver's license, you know, trying not to T-bone a family of 4 mannequins while juggling like 14 different tasks for the day. And if you do manage to keep track of all the hazards on the roads, collect all the things that you need to upgrade the car, repair some bullshit, and then keep the old crones in your earpiece happy, then you get to go home and have some downtime where you get to fix the car, you know, get a new paint job, maybe switch out the wheels a bit. It's really good. And once you've taken a well enough break, it's back into the zone. And speaking of the zone, anomalies. Anomalies. They're pretty interesting to play around. The problem is that early game, there aren't that many types of them, so you'll be running into the same ones pretty frequently. They're not really an antagonist, more so an obstacle, and so you have to learn how to play around them. They do, however, keep you on your toes and add to the atmosphere of the zone, because if nothing else, they're really deeply unsettling. But once you become experienced enough, they'll become rote and samey, and, you know, become part of the scenery. What I mean to say is, for a single playthrough, they're paced pretty well. If you take the same routes, they get more and more extremely unstable because the areas that you go through will be continuously cooked in the radiation and basically become like a hellscape. The zone itself, however, is beautiful. They're semi-randomly generated maps, but with the same terrain and roads. They just have different points of interest scattered about sometimes. Now, it'd be remiss of me not to mention some of the problems that I have with the game. For one, I feel like some of the end game upgrades are kind of vestigial. There really is no point to getting any of the actual final best upgrades, and firstly, it's because the components to get them are incredibly difficult to find, and secondly, they're not even better than the stuff in the middle. Like, for example, you get off-road tires pretty early on, like before you even, I suppose, cross into the middle section of the zone, and when you get those, they're essentially the best tires in the entire game because they give you the best effectiveness on off-road areas, and that's where you'll be most of the time, because the roads, if you're on a road, it doesn't matter how fast you're going unless you're trying to outrun the zone. And at that point, you've got far bigger problems to be worrying about, trust me. And so, it's essentially, upgrading past that point just makes you less effective. And so that's a real problem. Even with that, I didn't fail a single run and basically completed the entire game first try. But, you know, not to say that the game is easy, so to speak. I'd recommend turning on the setting that lets you keep the loot you have on you when you die, because it's just a waste of time. You know, it's just waste your time. All in all, I think the game does what it sets out to do incredibly well. Yahtzee Croshaw, in one of his fully Ramblomatics, makes a really great point in saying that the game really doesn't have any combat for you to, you know, defend yourself against the anomalies, because, well, you're not supposed to. They don't really target you. You, as a squishy human inside of your car, is just collateral damage, because basically every single anomaly wants to attack the car, not specifically you. And with that, we come to the end of a little foray into the zone and the game of Pacific Drive. I'm still not entirely sure why I like games about going somewhere so much. It may very well be that my upbringing and my specific environmental factors have brought up as a person that enjoys the great outdoors in a car. Or it could just that I find them neat. I'm not sure. This video was very woefully late. My mental health has not been too good lately, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.